So I'm just gonna ask the brother one or two questions on the question I prepared here. So let's just get this going. Okay, now my first question to you on this set of questions I prepared here is gonna be removing European colonial languages and replacing them with African languages as main language of communication to restore our voice, stop European racial dominance over us, and protect African languages from death. What is your view? Do you support it or oppose it? I repeat. Removing European colonial languages and replacing them with African languages as main language of communication to restore our voice, stop European racial dominance over us, and protect African languages from death. Do you support or oppose?
I support.
Very interesting. Are you aware that European languages in Africa are the basis of European colonial rule that is ongoing as we speak? Watch and take. Are you aware that European languages presence in Africa, right, and dominance is the basis of European colonial rule that is ongoing as we speak?
Yes, I am aware of that.
You are aware of that, right? They use the languages to control us, you know that, shape our thinking, behavior, and make us feel that we're inferior to them. That's what they do. Do you think African people's voice can be heard and our interest protected when we are now using foreign languages as if they were our own, when these languages belong to European and allow European people of each colonial language to lead African speaking those languages? Is our voice being heard by ourselves? What can you take now that we are using European languages as if they were our own languages? Do you think our interests are protected when we're using European languages? What can you take?
No,
not at all, right? Very interesting. Okay, European languages in Africa serve European people colonial interests, and African languages serve African people legitimate interests. What's your view? European languages in Africa serve European people colonial interest because they came through colonization, right? And African languages serve African people legitimate interest. What's your view?
My view is yes. You see,
you agree that European languages serve the colonial interest, because it does not make sense. Chinese people not having their own languages as main language of communication, but having European language. Understand? It does not make sense, because if we are people of our own, we're supposed to have our own languages, isn't it? Very interesting. Are you able to see the supreme and racist dominance European people have over us? Are you able to see the massive dominance and the supreme and racist dominance European people have over us on all spheres of our life, culturally, linguistically, mentally, economically, as far as control of information is controlled? Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Very interesting. Do you want to see that dominance brought to an end?
Of course.
Can the dominance be brought to an end while we are reliant on the languages? Can the dominance be brought to an end when we are reliant on the languages? What you take?
The more we rely on their languages, the less we will be able to be dominant as Africans.
Yeah, to be our own. So basically, that's it. Yeah. Okay. This question here. Okay. Without self-belief and self-esteem, we cannot achieve anything as a people. And relying on European languages and not on our own languages is lack of self-belief and self-confidence. What you think? Do you agree, right?
Yes, I agree.
Very interesting. Not switching back to our own languages when they are facing death. Are you able to see that African languages are dying?
Yes.
Is evidence of lack of self-belief and self-confidence. What you take? Not going back to our own languages when they are facing death is lack of self-beliefs and self-confidence. What you take? Interesting. Okay, this one here. European languages are the cause of the dying state of African languages. That is a good reason to remove European languages as main language of communication. What you take?
I As I would like to agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, you understand, right? European languages in Africa give European dominance over us. Do you agree or disagree?
European languages in Africa give dominance over us.
European languages in Africa give European people dominance over us.
Yes.
Do you agree or disagree?
Because we're in that group, yes.
Yeah, we are in the group, and that's basically it now. Now we have European languages are a weapon used to make European languages are a weapon used to make it hard for us to be confident and to learn fast. Which of you?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. In the EU, no one speak no one languages, meaning England is the only entity in the EU speaking English. That applies to France and Portugal and others. Why do you think Africa cannot see that these European languages in Africa are just tools for the colonialism? Because in the EU, none of them in the 27 or 33, I think now, member states speak nobody's else language, but in Africa, these languages are called so-called international. Why can't Africa see that these languages are used to control us? Because if they were international, in the EU, they all will be using those languages. Watch and take.
Okay, I'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
If you look at it here in South Africa, it's one of the few countries in the world that has 11 official
Languages, yeah.
It's funny how let me give an example with soccer players. You get soccer players trying to talk English. At the end, they embarrass themselves. You go to Messi talks his home language, his mother tongue, and then they translate it for him in English.
Exactly.
Why don't we have our own language to translate it?
Exactly. Because you very good point. I just want to make, because English is used to give the impression that African languages are inferior. Even when the constitution here says there's 11 official languages, but English is the main one. You understand? And African language becomes like almost like cosmetic, you know, because they don't really serve. So if we replace, let's say South Africa replace English with an African language as main language of communication, right? While there is 11 official languages, you're gonna see that the perception that speaking English is being civilized, right, or being advanced, is gonna go away. It's gonna basically help end these people dominance over Africans, because the way Africans are dominated, there is almost no way they can make progress. But that's applied to everywhere in Africa, right? So basically that was it. Any closing argument you would like to make to our viewers? Thanks for taking part in the show. Any closing argument you would like to make to our viewers concerning what you spoke about, or any other thing?
I think I've exhausted all my ideas.
Okay.
And I was very much pleased, and I appreciate sharing my thoughts.
Yeah, very interesting.
With everyone, and I encourage everybody to actually do this. You know, let your voice be heard. You understand? Raise your voice. You know, we all have something to say. Just don't feel inferior.
Yeah.
You understand? Raise your voice, be heard, be brave. So you will actually help somebody.
Very, very interesting. I just would like to know that people don't choose to feel inferior. It is the kind of information they get over a long period of time that breed that feeling inside the brain, which means many people can try not to feel, but if the information in the society is to make them feel inferior, which is colonialism in the case of Africa, most gonna feel like that. So it is important that puppet government wake up and stop this European information colonization, which they use to condition our brain to feel inferior. And we urge revolutionaries across to push so that they access power and end European colonialism, because as long as we remain under the grip of European, we are unable to make progress. And even all the clothing we're wearing, the money goes to them. If we're wearing clothing made by African tailors, we're going to have a massive African corporation of cloth making, for example. Yes. And we need to start thinking for ourselves and move forward. Thank you very much for protecting Africa.